Well, I'm buying a new bow. Oh, great. It's awesome. Welcome back. It's been a few weeks and I am ready to do another video. I've wanted to do another video for a while, but work these past couple weeks have just been so crazy, and so I just really haven't had time. But making a video, especially because I have exciting news of me getting a new bow. So we're gonna go shoot my new bow. We're gonna compare it to my old one, talk about some pros and cons, and let's just talk about what I got. So this is my new bow. This is the Bear Resurgence LD, and it is great. The LD stands for long draw, but it is awesome. So one of the things about when I was getting a bow, I had a couple criteria of what I wanted. One of the things I wanted was a bow that had a really good smoothness when drawing. I wanted a bow that was a little bit more heavy, and I wanted a bow that had a little bit higher poundage. When I think of like getting a new bow, like one of the things that don't really come to my mind as like a deal breaker is like the speed. Like my old bow, which I'll go grab that in 2 seconds. Actually, I'll go grab it right now. This is my old bow. This is the Diamond Razor Edge. I've kind of wanted to do a video about this for a while, but I guess now what better time to talk about a bow than when you get a new one. So let's talk about it. I wrote down some things that I want to discuss between the two. But anyway, so the couple categories that I had when I wanted a new bow is I wanted one that had a higher poundage. So my Diamond, it had a 15 to 60 draw weight, which honestly for like a person who's like trying to get into archery, like this is perfect, because I mean, if you're like a young kid and you're really trying to like get into it, or even if you're like an adult, you can always take and like grow with it in like poundage. You can grow with it in draw length. The draw length from this Diamond was a I believe, actually I can tell you, the draw length, I have notes. Okay, when comparing these two bows together, now that we have them both on the table, there's a few things that I wrote down to help me like keep this concise. So one of the things is the brace height is exactly the same. They're both 7-inch brace height, so nothing changed there. The axle to axle from the Diamond is 31 inches, so it's not bad. And the axle on the Bear is actually only 32. So it's only 1 inch difference. The draw length on the Diamond Razor Edge is 19 inches to 29 inches, and you can go in half-inch increments. So really, really flexible. I believe you can go in half-inch increments as well on the Bear, but this is only a 25 to 32 inch draw length, which the 32 inch is why this is called the LD, or the long draw. It's more catered to people with a really long draw length, and we'll talk about that later on how I really don't fit that long draw, but why I still got this bow. The draw weight is 15 to 60, so whether you're a young kid or if you're someone who's just getting into archery, you could really, you know, push the poundage of the bow. You know, so really versatile. My Bear, it comes in two options. It comes in a 45 to 60 or a 55 to 70 pound draw weight. I opted to get the 55 to 70 just because I'll probably want to be hunting more in like the 65, 70 pound range. So that's one of the reasons why I got this bow. The IBO is 108 feet for the Diamond, and it's only 110 feet for the Bear. So like I said, speed isn't a huge factor for me when picking a bow. I just really Like there's a few other things that I think are more important to the comfort level of a bow that I think this Bear gives me than what my Diamond gave me. The poundage, the Diamond is 3.8, the Bear is 3.9. So aren't gonna tell a whole bunch in poundage of like the weight of the bow itself, but yeah. So honestly, there's like a lot of things that are like very similar. The draw length is very different in who it's suited for. I'm not a long draw length archer, but I think as like someone who wants a good bow, this, I mean, it's awesome. But there's a couple things that when I picked up this bow and first shot it, it really just like stood out to me. One of the things with the Bear was that it has a single cam. On the Diamond, you have two cams that are timed to each other. And when you get this timing just right, I mean, it definitely increases the user experience. But I always felt that with this like small of a cam, like nothing to say against small cams, but I always felt like when I'd pull, it really like there was a lot more effort with it. Like on any time that I'd ever tried like a smaller cam versus a bigger cam, the small cams always felt like there's way more effort. But so this is the dual cam. So both cams are about the same on each side. Now for the Bear, you have a single cam bow. So you have your one cam that is down here, that this is where all your adjustments are made. So when you're doing your draw length, whether you're doing the limb stop, which the limb stop, we'll talk about that. But you can adjust everything down here on the single cam. And this is just like a standalone cam right here. So basically whatever you're doing, this isn't really affected. This is just kind of like there to obviously allow you this to be a compound bow. If it didn't have these cams, it would be a traditional bow. But I really enjoy pulling back this bow. Like in the past 2 days of me shooting it, I probably shot like 5 hours, probably close to, at this point, 400 arrows through the bow. After all that shooting, after 5 hours of shooting, my arm is awesome. My arm does not feel sore, my arm does not feel tired, and that's kind of one of the reasons why I wanted a bow with a better user experience. Like if I had shot this bow all day for 3 or 4 hours at a time, my arm would be killing me. Like it would not be fun. But I mean, this morning after shooting it, like yesterday I shot for 3 hours, today I went and shot for a while, but this morning when I woke up after the 3-hour day, I was like, holy cow, I can keep shooting. So that, like, the user experience is definitely increased with this Bear and this single cam system. Is there anything wrong with the dual cam system? Absolutely not. But for me, in my personal use, I love the single cam. So, future Dylan here. I'm gonna jump in really fast. As I was going back and looking at the footage, I realized that for the next little portion, I'll be saying brace height. That is not what brace height is. I'll be talking about axle to axle, okay? So when I say brace height, I really mean axle to axle. So let's get back to what's going on in the video. But yes, sorry for the confusion. I'm not talking about brace height, which is the distance from the back string to the riser. It is talking about from the axle point to the axle point on the bow. Sorry for the confusion. Let's go. So you have user experience. The user experience is definitely increased with the Bear bow. Another thing that I wanted was a little bit more of forgiveness, okay? So even though that the brace height is, you know, about the same, it's only an inch difference from 31 to 32, the longer the brace height, the more forgiveness that typically comes from a bow. So if you had a shorter bow, say like 29 inches, this is gonna be a lot more forgiving. And so that's a big part for me on, you know, wanting a bigger brace height. Like if we were to hold up these two bows side by side, and we were to put them, you know, on the table, you can see from here, like they are two very different sized bows. Like there's at least probably 2 inches, if not a little bit more, on the entire size of the bow. And that's just gonna help give it a little bit more stability and forgiveness when you are actually shooting. The other thing too is like, if I ever wanted to do like a bow that I wanted to have like rear stabilizers. This allows me to have just a simple twist in to the back. Really like that feature. But the last thing is that 70-pound draw weight. The 55 to 70 pounds, I think that's where I'm typically going to be at. Now this one can go up to 60. Great range, great range. However, when I know that I want that 70-pound range, I was either looking at bows that were like way more expensive, or they just had a few other features that like they were good but weren't really necessities. Like speed, like I said, wasn't a huge thing. But when I saw this bow and I saw that it was the 55 to 70, I was like, oh, that's something to look at. Well, one of the big reasons why I also got a new bow, especially when I did, because I wasn't planning on getting a bow until probably like March, and really start using that and prepping for it, you know, getting ready for it upcoming hunting season. When I was looking, I went to Sportsman's Warehouse, which was actually the same Sportsman's Warehouse where I bought my original diamond. I was looking there, seeing what they had, saw this bow, was like, oh, that's kind of what I'm looking for, especially from the Bear line. I really like this riser. You'll find this riser shape in the Bear Alaskan, the normal Resurgence that isn't the long draw. It's very, very similar in the way that it is. But I saw this bow, I'm like, oh, that's basically what I want. And then I saw the price. I got this bow for $263. This bow came out in 2022. So it's a few years older, but it's kind of right now in that season where all these places are trying to get rid of the last year's bows. So I'm like, hey, why don't I, you know, go and see? And I saw this deal and I was like, I can't pass that up. That is too good of a deal. It's basically everything what I'm looking for at this time frame. I saw this bow and I was like, okay, I'm going to get this bow. It was a Bear bow, so that's probably another reason why it helped bring down the price from, I think, the original like $415 down to the 263, is because there was no other attachments. But that wasn't a worry for me because I already had a really decent sight. I had a pretty decent stabilizer. All I would need was a rest, and so I got a drop away. This is the Trophy Hunter Extreme Pro. It's a decent drop away, nothing crazy, but it's definitely, it was needed. I had to get it. It was either that or maybe like another Whisker Biscuit, but I'm glad I got the drop away, just because one, that was all that they really had there at the time, but two, I've always been kind of interested in what's the big difference. So far I'm satisfied with it. Maybe after about 1,000 shots, I'll see if I still am on the drop away kick. But yeah, I really do like this bow. I like the price of it. I like the weight. I like the forgiveness. Yeah, the only thing that I really like would have changed if I could have modified my diamond at this point would have been a better peep sight. The peep never allowed me to view the entire sight picture as what I can with the bigger peep on the Bear. I could probably say this is a $263 peep sight, you know, justify it like that for my wife. At the end of the day, it really doesn't come down to like the best, or, you know, what is like the fastest speed bow. It comes down to user experience. And so I just want to do a quick little side-by-side comparison of my my diamond and my new Bear. So let me grab my target, let me shoot, and we'll go from there. All right, so first off, we're going to shoot the diamond, just so you can really get a chance to see the difference between the two. All right, so diamond first. Ready, 3. Oh. It's great. However, I don't know if you could see that as I pulled that back. There's just so much like that build up to me actually being able to pull it off and get ready to get to the let off point. Like, it is a lot. All right, here we go. One more. Oh, all right. Great bow, great bow. But like, if I was to be shooting for hours on end with that same like that amount of effort and force to pull it back, my shoulder would be killing me. And it's not. I've been shooting my other bow consistently the past 2 days. No issues, no problem. So that's the diamond. Let's look at the Bear. All right, the Bear's up. Let's go ahead and load and arrow. Now watch the draw cycle of this. As I bring it down, so much easier. And when I get to that final let off point, like, I feel like I can just float here with this bow. Like, I'm not really worried. And that back wall is stiff. Like, I'm not really worried about like letting go. So I could literally be like walking around and just still be completely fine. But that let off is so nice. And this bow is quiet. So, I mean, there isn't a lot of things that I could say about this bow that I don't like, you know, like there are just so many good things that just stack onto. This is a good bow. Once again, watch the draw cycle. Pull smooth the entire time. I'm not fighting it at all. Killer bow. In conclusion, this is my new bow. You know, I really am excited to have a bow like this, of this caliber. You know, like, yes, this would be a lot more easy for people to get as like a starter bow, but like in all reality, like the amount of features that this bow comes with, of like the 80% let off, if you have a really long draw length, all of the other little factors that go in with it, like, I mean, it is so good the entire time like I've shot it. Like, and like I said, I've only had this bow for like 3 days. I love it. It is so clean, you know, like, I love the color. This comes in a few different color designs. I think there's this black one, there's like one other type of camo. Black, I think, fits me a little bit better because I wear black like 90% of the time. But I mean, this bow and me just fit together. It's exactly what I need. It's exactly a bow that I think I can continue to grow with, especially with it going up to 70 pounds. That's the target area that I want to be hunting with. But I mean, I wish I could just shoot this bow all day, every day for hours, because I can't say enough good things about it. Will I miss my diamond? Absolutely. Will I be getting rid of it? No. My wife is actually going to be taking over it because it's a great bow. Diamond definitely has a reputation of having good bows for beginners and women. I'd say women like can really benefit from the Diamond bow line series. But I mean, this bow just has so many memories of me going out and shooting it at my grandparents' shop, and I don't think I could ever like say anything bad about it. There's definitely some upgrades necessary, like maybe a better rest, a better peep sight. But I mean, the quiver was great. It's a little five arrow holder. The size of it, honestly, still super good. It feels really good in the hands. There's definitely a little less hand shock between the Bear versus the Diamond, but there's limb dampeners. So, I mean, it's kind of designed to be a little bit more of a bow for someone who's really starting to take it a little bit more seriously. So yeah, that's my new bow. I love it. Super short video at this time. But yeah, guys, I want you to know that I really do think about this channel a whole bunch. Work has been crazy. I'll try to upload more frequently. I have some stuff I want to do with some friends. But yeah, I want to do some stuff on sighting in bows. But yeah, guys, this is fun. This is great. I can't wait for the next video. I can't wait for the next one's coming up. But please bear with me. It's kind of a learning phase for me of YouTube and all that, but I'm having fun. I hope you guys are learning something. And yeah, that is the Bear Resurgence LD, my new bow. And I think you should check it out. So, all right, guys, this is Late Season Hunter. I'll talk to you later. Okay, bye, guys. Cool.